Welcome back, boys and girls, to the rest of the story here on the LCK. There wasn't much to show you. Ruler almost died one time, but outside of that, Gen.G just crushed them straight up.
Secret of being a caster is you don't have to watch all the VODs from other regions. You can sometimes look at a draft and be like, yeah, I can probably work out how that one played out. This is the definition of one of those games. If you look at the pick ban in the Reddit thread afterwards, it's the same as watching it because Gen.G played ultra standard. MVP had a draft that could scale, but they never got to the scaling because they made some mistakes in the mid game, and then it was over before the mid game ever ended. 30 to 31 minute victory here for Gen.G. Slow and steady, as always, did win the race.
Got to use Killer Instinct. Did the Kais, did pilot, but not able to get any kills off of it, as the Tom Kent's just too strong here for CoreJJ. He was 9-5. Now he's 10-5. Also the Gnar here for QV, giving a lot of big picks over to the side of Gen.G. Even though they had a draft of their own, definitely feels like a bit of a bad idea.
Can't make those mistakes against a team like Gen.G if you want to take scaling. We saw teams able to do that. We saw the Kai'Sa by KT, and that was such a big pick in that matchup, but not the same sort of tonic for success here for MVP. So maybe throw out that idea and come up with a new one for game number 2.
Game facts here. It is going to be Ashe, Ruler, doing a lot of damage in total. Who does get the MVP? I'd probably pick QV. I feel like he did a lot of work, especially in that last team fight, to make sure that he was able to win it. Maybe the Tom Kent was pretty good. I don't know, guys. There wasn't that much action. It's kind of hard to pick one guy that wins the MVP.
I got nothing. I thought that there was a cool moment when
Papa wins the MVP.
Skip through a team fight. Yeah, Papa MVP.
Yeah.
Put me full screen.
Good cast for game 1. Better
Sometimes in the
play.
rehearsal they put troll stuff in the MVP picture. It's going to be CoreJJ.
There you go.
Overdue for some of his MVPs on Alistair earlier in the season, so give it an MVP. Why not?
Hey, he actually smiled. There you go. He's giving us some love here. 76 on the Vision score. And, well, Tom Kent is a pretty good champion. I'd recommend banning it here in game number 2 as MVP go on to the blue side.
I agree.
Or they could just first pick it.
Well, while that is something they could literally select, Max has played one game a loss on Tom Kent, so been low value for them. BBQ have been trying to make it work, and they have found some success in getting Ghost through the laning phase. I think Pilot's pretty good, so whatever helps Pilot's experience, probably a positive one. Let's roll into this second game. No more posturing. That's right. I can see you, posture bot in chat. No more posturing. We want to see some League of Legos. Let's get it going.
Zoom in there onto Max. What can he do for game number 2? He has to stop the NA talent from taking over the match. Guys, we're going to jump into pick and ban for game number 2 right now.
First ban on blue side, so we can target CoreJJ's champion pool. Our MVP winner from game number 1.
Also, Talia, I doubt Gen.G is going to do anything non-standard. Just go ahead, play a straight-up game. They won the first one in 31 minutes. The second one can probably be done in a similar amount of time if they dominate as hard as they did in game number 1. Speaking of which, no more Tom Kent makes me a happy caster.
Do we see Gen.G try to play chicken? The answer obviously is no. Why did I even wonder?
Yeah.
It's going to ban Aatrox and Talia. Gen.G and the rest of us have seen none of the Aatrox in Korea. Was played at Rift Rivals, turned out to be pretty damn broken. Got buffed and nerfed since then, largely adjusted positively. Still seen none of the Aatrox. Will we see Aatrox this week, Valdez? We have some...
No.
No, I mean, all the matches kind of have to be must-win matches in both ways, so maybe it's unlikely. I'd love to see one game of it. Trundle going to be banned on blue side because Yondu can't find a victory on Trundle.
Yeah, it's 5-3 for Ambition, 0-6 for Yondu. Speaking of which, you mentioned the Rise. We will definitely have a pick ban that looks differently, so the Rise could be picked in this one, not just Zoe versus Orianna. The question is, what is MVP going to... Well, I got distracted by SpongeBob. Just listen to the cons, guys, and do whatever it says.
Well, first picking Zoe is a possibility, you would say, from MVP. Shen is available. Other teams would prize that here. First pick Orianna seems like a bit of a reach. We've definitely had some times where that's been a first pick. I'd love to see Fly show us a different champion pick into it, but I think they're just going to pick a pick comp with Zoe and just try to bulldoze it.
How about Aurelion Sol?
That'd be great.
I want to see more Aurelion Sol. That would make game number 2 a lot more interesting, especially.
They're going to pick Zoe
No,
Sejuani.
don't do it, please.
Why would they show anything? They're just going to pick Zoe Sejuani. That's why I said they're going to pick a pick comp into it.
Why Gen.G? It's definitely going to be Sejuani. You just know. Especially after they hovered it. It's just the most obvious thing in the world.
Well, duh. They didn't pick it because Ambition wanted to select it for himself. They didn't even want to trade. That's how little work Gen.G want to do.
Yeah. Only one swap, not two.
Let's find the most standard champion and then be really surprised if Gen.G doesn't select it. Because MVP could do something crazy. To their credit.
How about a blind Gnar third?
Ooh, and double ban? I don't know if they care that much to do that. I feel they'll, well, maybe.
Is that showing too much caring to MVP?
How about a Draven? That'd be pretty fun. The blind Draven first round.
Ian's, he's a hover troll. I don't believe you, Ian.
What about that Varus? That'd be pretty standard. Oh, look at me.
Yeah.
So smart. Well,
you've been around the block a couple
you just
times.
first round Ashe here if you're Gen.G? That'd be pretty standard.
Yeah, maybe.
You don't have Tom Kench, so you're a little bit sad.
Well, the camera is on Ruler, so it definitely seems like the production agrees with us, and there it is.
Wow.
You're what is it, 4 for 4 right now? You got Zoe, Sejuani, Varus, and Ashe.
The Morgana was a surprise, actually.
Yeah.
Morgana priority a bit higher in this game, especially because Max hasn't really played that much Morgana this season. Bit out of nowhere. But yeah, this is not the Prophet game, guys. This is just Gen.G. So, gonna actually see the Gragas ban. This is a big takeaway for our fans going to playoffs, is that a lot of people like Gragas into other tank junglers. So, whilst Trundle makes sense, the Trundle's banned. So Gragas versus Trundle, Gragas versus Sejuani, Gragas versus just a Zoe and Ashe who don't have native escapes. Does make sense where the priority is. MVP gonna ban away the Soraka. No first round bot lane for Gen.G, and Soraka is the lane counter to the Morgana. Max himself has shown the other lane counter to Morgana in the past. That was the Vel'Koz support. But probably not gonna see that from Core JJ.
Could also pick up a Blitzcrank for Core JJ.
I think he's just gonna Alistar, isn't he? Like,
yeah.
His Alistar's been really good
I'm just
recently.
trying to say something really outrageous so that something changes.
We could see Shen and a split pusher. I think Alistar or Shen are the support choices you're thinking of. The top lane pool is wide open. Ooh, the Braum. That'd be a good pick into the Morgana and Varus for team comp, so nicely done. A different tank support comes through from Gen.G. MVP have to blind pick top lane.
I wonder if it's going to be Gnar.
It could be Cho'Gath.
I wonder if it's going to be anything that's not Gnar or Cho'Gath.
Could be Kennen.
Blind pick? A GP is available, so...
Hey!
Oh! Look at that! A Mumu! We're not crying anymore, as, well, we got our new tank jungler onto the Rift. Ambition giving a little smirk. I love how he auto-locked it, too. That was so good.
Oh, yeah! First game of the season for Yondu on his famous Amumu pick. Think about the logic, Valdez. What did KT Rolster say? We don't respect your 2v2. We're going to take Kai'Sa. What's another thing you can do? I don't respect you ganking or invading. I'm just going to take Amumu and not get counter-jungled. So Yondu, formerly Beyond, jumps onto the Amumu. And Cloud Templar somewhere, probably VOD reviewing this game on FLICKR TV, is hyped.
He is hyped as all hell. The famous Amumu himself. Yondu trying to do Daddy Amumu good. And, well, it's really interesting, too. You mentioned no invading, right? Amumu, obviously, we can talk for days about this pick, the history, what he does, what he doesn't do. But into Zoe and Ashe, it's very interesting, right? You get a flash ultimate that Zoe's not going to be hopping around the fight, and also wombo combo with the cannon barrage and a ball. It's going to be a lot of fun.
I'm so excited.
I know.
We got an Amumu. Yeah.
New champion. Never seen this one before.
Might be the first in 2018 in competitive play.
It might. I think we
it
should check that out.
It probably will be, right?
Actually.
Why would anyone play Amumu? Only Beyond plays it. Sadly, he was only AP Amumu when he first played it in 2016. He did play Cinderhulk afterwards, so no guarantees we're getting big AP.
Yeah. Everybody's going to be crying in chat, but just for a different reason this time around. At least everybody is awake now, as this is going to be a fun one, guys. I can't wait to see if MVP can actually pull it off. You guys saw the current standings. MVP desperately need a win, and they need Jin to lose.
I'm all zoomed in, baby. I don't need to see standings. I don't need to see the other 9 picks. I can just see Amumu.
Yeah, this is going to do it, guys. Game number 2 is going to start right now with the Amumu onto the Rift.
소환사의 협곡에 오신 것을 환영합니다.
Amumu fighting for one guy. So guys, here's an interesting stat. GamesOfLegends.com, one of the best global stats repositories, does a lot of tracking. If you guys want to know anything about pick rates and stuff like that in pro play, definitely go over to GamesOfLegends.com. If you look at that website, there has been no Amumu picks in 2018. 1 pick in 2017, 2 picks in 2016. All 3 games were Beyond. Now, Yondu, we get the full zoom in. This is also the skin that had the famous bug where it had a global laugh. So here we go. We get the only Amumu left in the world since 2016, Yondu.
In the world. It's important you say that.
Now, they don't track every single region for everything, so it's possible it was played in the Russian League 2 years ago, and we don't have the stat. But judging on Games of Legends, very quick cursory Google, no other Amumu.
Well, this is going to be fun. Amumu.
Damn.
He clears the Raptors faster than Sejuani.
Here are your Amumu runes. Cheap shot, zombie ward. Going to be picked up there. I believe that's also the ultimate hunter there. Coming through the 3rd rune, and then Biscuiteer and the 5% free CDR as Max decides to take a lot of damage.
Why does this always happen to Morganas and LCK?
Why does this always happen to Amumu? He just wants to farm.
I know. I want to see a long game where we get multiple Amumu ultimates.
He's got Predator, so I'm really excited about Beyond's Predator flanks on Amumu. That sounds awesome. His route so far, instant clear the Raptors into the blue buff, and now he would love a scuttle. It is spotted by Ambition.
Yeah, there were a couple of wards that were placed in both of the near both of the pixel brushes to spot something like this, and well, you said it before, Ambition is not going to go look for the Amumu and try to fight him, and Amumu will be able to farm here in this game.
And honestly, the reason why I like to discuss that is that KT started this Kai'Sa 2v2 meta by saying, we don't respect your 2v2 to punish in the bot side. Ruler and Core JJ are very good players, but Ambition is going to come turret dive us. We're going to get away with Kai'Sa in a 2v2. Previous in Korea, only seen in the funnel strategy, and it worked. And now we see a lot of Kai'Sa in the duo lane as recently as MVP in game number 1. Now MVP say, hey, Ambition, let's just make it about you. I don't think you're going to invade. You're not the Lee Sin or the Kayn that comes and kills the Amumu in solo queue. You're on the Sejuani, you're a farming jungler, and they feel they can get away with the Amumu. Be very fun to see, because remember, there is the Hawk shot from Ruler, so they should know where Amumu is most of the time.
Yeah. The fans certainly are going to love it, as I feel like Yondu knew that the camera was on him earlier when he did the cute little sit-down that Amumu does.
He's literally the only Amumu.
Yeah.
Amumu, one of my mains when I started playing in 2010. Loved to play Amumu.
Wow.
Was very powerful in 2010. Now you don't pick it for ELO anymore. But
no.
There was a time.
That's definitely one of the picks that you just never see. Like in solo queue in the Korean server, you'll see all sorts of stuff. Like you'll see Yorick, you'll see Volibear, all the not picked champions, but you will never ever see Amumu, and here he is.
The funny thing is, for the great majority of, let's say, 2011 through 2014, Amumu was permabanned in low elo, right? Famous Amumu Malphite bans because he's a reliable initiator. He can clear the jungle if there's no counter jungling. He was just an auto pick, right? In silver and in bronze, Amumu was banned for a very long time for that reason. Funnily enough, you don't even see him there anymore as much from the pick rates and charts I see, because at the end of the day, people would rather be flashy with a Lee Sin. The mechanical floor of the game has risen so much in years that people would rather have a go at the Lee Sin than go for Amumu because he has engaged. So it's funny that the players in general have got better at micro abilities. Everyone in Korea at silver can do an insect kick, so people at low elo still go to something like a Lee Sin. And for Amumu, with no pro games and just no buffs, Amumu ends up just unseen in the majority of the game.
It's going to be seen here. It's actually kind of hard with this skin to see if he's in the brush or not. It's a little bit annoying. Looking for the smite, and the TP is going to come in from ADD. They want to fight for this scuttle, but is going to miss the bandage toss. Sorry, Yondu, that's not a good look for you starting on your Amumu.
See what the skill order is from him. I imagine Q is going to be second max. I've seen it max versus wow. CoreJJ almost randomly dies to the ignite there.
Yeah. Ian is going to be totally safe and fine.
Last Amumu I saw from solo Q when I was doing research, I think someone like Peanut played one game of it, and there was a Q max. But this is going back to Tantrum max. Yondu himself, the last time to play it, and amusingly, was against Ambition. That's the time you play it, baby!
I love it. It makes so much sense. He could have played Skarner, but instead of that, he goes with the riskier farmer, I suppose, the more team fight oriented rather than pick oriented. I was looking at all the other junglers that are kind of high tier that weren't, well, that were available. You know, the Gragas was banned. We had Talia, of course. Camille taken away. Sejuani picked. And, well, I guess the next on the list is Amumu.
And he's played it once a year since he started as a pro player in 2016. So he has that once-in-a-year contract. The other time we had that in Korea was famously Arrow would play Draven and lose once every split. So I would make the joke that in his contract he stipulated at least one Draven game. Beyond doesn't get one a season anymore, but one a year. That has been given to him.
And I mean, it's not super trolling. It's not awful, right? It definitely can do stuff. Looking for Ian here. Just going to force the cleanse away.
That was a good cleanse.
Ambition did something.
Captain Jack style right there.
Yeah, pretty good.
Well, trade of cooldowns does suit Gen.G. Speaking of cooldowns, Predator ult's available.
He's level 6 too. He is just power farmed up to this level.
Push it in and gank. Let's do it. Let's roll. Can you kill that cannon, please?
Yeah, kill that. Yeah. All right, here comes Amumu. Are they going to ward that brush? They're not, actually.
They should go for CoreJJ. Doesn't have cleanse.
Oh, boy. CoreJJ in so much trouble. The easiest kill ever. And first blood goes to the Varus, but it was all Amumu in the bot lane.
Beautifully done by MVP. Pick comp with an Amumu works pretty damn well. Juve going to steal away the blue buffs, so not all good news, but the first successful gank goes the way of the sad, sad Mummy.
Yeah. Brought his curse upon CoreJJ, level 4, down in the bottom side, as easy as you like. And, well, they just didn't have a ward. Didn't know he was there.
And they went for the right person. Ruler had cleanse in the laning phase from Morgana and Varus. They kill the Braum. CoreJJ into the death center. Nice play from MVP.
He's here again. Oh, he's predatoring. The bandage toss comes in. And the flash of the sand beside me, but he's still going to go down as Max will get the chains onto CoreJJ. The arrow is too late there from Ruler, and another successful gank from the Sad Mummy.
And he's building AP as well. What's old is new.
Yes. Oh, yeah, baby.
It's beautiful. It's all I ever wanted. And more.
Ambition just farming as all this is going on. It's perfect. This is exactly what they knew would happen. Ambition's level 8, but who cares? Sad Mummy has a double gank down on the bottom side.
You never expect the Predator no ult Amumu gank. And that's why they go for it. Nicely done there. The Varus ultimate had plenty of time to get his eye in. They even have the GP ult to roll in. We haven't talked about top lane because he's boring. We have Amumu on the Rift. Beautiful.
No one cares about the Pirate. It's all about the Mummy.
I mean, he had it right. He thought no one would ever pick him. And Beyond, once a year, gets to pick him. They have pick CC in the bot lane. That's the easiest lane to gank. Amumu usually has to do the picking himself. No. We have a Varus ultimate or a Morgana binding to set it up. Very nice stuff. And, you know, we talked about how the AoE wombo comps are sometimes not so real. Amumu, a very good ball carrier when he can Predator and Q.
Yeah.
So I hold a lot of excitement about where this game is going, and there's no KT in it, which lets you know it's real excitement.
MVP, they tried to play standard in game 1, and then they decided, well, that's never going to work. As we all saw, Amumu's back in the bottom side. Ambition is going to be spotted, but the Hawk is not going to spot him.
They don't know he's here.
Yeah, able to dodge that one. They really want to make this work again. Curse the Sad Mummy and Flash is available for Yondu, so could try to make a play here.
Is it wrong that I feel because I mentioned the stat of literally no one else in the world playing Amumu, someone is definitely going to play Amumu in the next month or two?
I feel
just
like
so they can be on the stat.
That will happen.
We have OPL pros who watch the LCK all the time. Someone's going to do it, we know.
Yeah. Oh boy,
this
Ian.
stat.
Yondu's going to be there. Ian has to cleanse, and well, he is AP, so the Amumu is not all that tanky. But once again, Ian forced to cleanse and get out of the lane.
Yondu going to hold the lane, but also is Amumu, so it's not very good. Doing that 1v2, GPO, that was the right call there, actually, from ADD. He needs the help, because while Yondu can, in fact, freeze the minion wave well with the Tantrum Max and AoE power farm it, also is fully melee, so no fun there.
Amumu against Zoe in the lane sounds like one of the hardest things I've ever thought of.
There was, I believe, for one patch cycle in Amumu mid lane meta.
Yeah.
That did happen.
I remember that.
Years ago. There was also the bug, if you remember, where when the old defensive tree was there, I guess it wasn't a bug, but when you could take flat damage reduction in the defensive tree with Tantrum, you could literally tank the minions infinitely. There were those great clips from people like Vandral where like there was 8,000 minions all tanking the Amumu. Good times.
Amumu has had his chance to be in the spotlight many, many times, but he's been a sad mummy recently. Nobody plays him. It's really sad.
Well, good news. He's got his Runic Echo. Runic Echo is stronger than it's ever been before, so we don't know if he's going to go full AP or if it's just going to be the one-item power spike, but he does a lot of damage.
Okay, so he's in the brush here. It's kind of hard to see that. Really good at stealing Raptors. Good smite as well from Yondu's going to win that one.
Plenty of CS behind Sejuani, but how many kill involvements do you have, Ambition? Bagel. Bagel kill involvements, none at all. Bagel's not a term, is it?
Oh, okay.
You're an American. You
is
know
that an
No,
Aussieism?
I think it's American, actually.
Really?
Yeah.
Never
You've been away too long.
You know, bagels are really popular in New York.
I know. That's why I'm trolling.
Never heard of it.
Max and Pilot go through some visual lag on our end, but just fine on their end, in case you're wondering. Guys had a couple of issues last time as well. No competitive integrity worries. These teams love to pause the game.
Cleanse available on Fly, so it is a little bit harder to make that gank work onto the Zoe, who can also dodge.
What will be the next item from the Amumu?
Spellbinder.
Oh! That sounds way more exciting than what I was thinking.
I know.
Protobelt.
Sounds pretty bad.
Protobelt sounds all right.
Protobelt is good, I think.
Then you're like, I'm building tank, guys. There's health on this.
Yeah.
Rylai's, an old famous item on Amumu. AoE tears for AoE slow.
How about a death cap?
Just now?
Yeah, just do it.
He's got 100 AP. Percentages buff that up. How about Leandri's? For more damage over time, but dying instantly because you have no health.
No, I'm not a big fan of that one. I like the Protobelt a little bit more. You're not going to have as much gold, so it's relatively cheap. I think you can pick that one up a little bit faster.
So MVP, they actually do have a similar identity to what they did in game number 1. In game 1, it was wait till Kai'Sa's online. The GP is the one they're waiting on this time, and he's doing just fine, as we can see. The bot lane is stronger, so Pilot's able to use his ability to dominate lane like he can do as a great laner himself. So they're just trying to double down around this, and there's also the sleight of hand of the GP getting stronger. I don't think Yondu was spotted, but like you mentioned...
Look at the summoners for CoreJJ.
He doesn't want to die to this.
Cleanse heal. He's scared, man. The mummy's a little bit scary. He's scared.
Fool me once, fool me twice. At some point, you're just trolling if you die 3 times to a Mumu.
Yeah. Good binding from Max. I just want to see another Amumu gank. It's the only thing I live for now. He's behind so much in the CS compared to Ambition, who seems to not care about what Amumu has done.
I think Gen.G is going to try to play their game, waiting for Zoe to hit one item, maybe Sorcerer's Shoes, and then try to punish. Could be, probably has to be Merc Treads in a game like this, but I think Gen.G are still feeling like, okay, early game didn't go as expected, but we're very happy to return to exactly the same playstyle we did in game 1 when we take some turrets. Let's watch the minimap to see when they can actually threaten turret damage, because for now, they have been well stalled out.
We got to look at the top lane for about 0.3 seconds, as it has just been farm fest up there, both of those guys even. And Yondu's looking for another gank. And, well, the cleanse is going to come in, but the binding also going to be cleansed. But here, how about another CC in your face? CoreJJ does have the stopwatch, though, and Yondu, oh boy, you're in a lot of trouble. The TP coming in, and Yondu and Pilot super low. Looks like they will go down. Pilot in the end. ADD gets there too slow. Even though Ian was there first on the roam, a 2 for 0 down on the bottom side.
Really good TP timings from Gen.G, gets the punishment. Now the Amumu has been in the death chamber once. Very, very squishy for any counter gank. The mid lane turret going down is way more important. Orianna had already had that one fall low after a few successful ganks. And Gen.G definitely take the bull by the horns and find a big lead at 16 minutes.
Kind of reminds me of game 1 where they got 1 kill and then Gen.G just said, we'll take Infernal and the turret.
The problem is with this play is that at this point, you can escape with double cleanse down, and then they look for an ult against stopwatch, cleanse heal, Braum, plus everything being up on Gen.G. Cuvée is going to have a more impact teleport than the GP. This is definitely a decision-making mistake from MVP. Take the little wins. Don't get baited into the full-on engage, basically under the enemy turret. But no, too much excitement from the early kills.
Yeah.
And they give away a pretty big advantage to Gen.G.
You know, they're just getting hyped because of the Amumu.
Look at CoreJJ. He's bought a rush to QSS as well. He knows his flash is up because he had cleanse and heal for the longest time.
Yeah.
CoreJJ's literally saying, hey, Amumu, come join me. I'll be your friend. Sorry, Amumu. He's trolling. He's not actually going to be your friend. I know he looks like a man you can trust. He has a mustache. He says nice things. Do not trust this man.
Don't trust Braum, not in this game. He's not on your team. Braum Amumu would be nice. How about sending Amumu into the bot lane as an awesome dude? He's pretty awesome.
You know.
We could have that happen.
Well, the masturbating performance by CoreJJ is over for now. Gen.G trying to take the whole map. We mentioned this would happen eventually. The turret's going down is, well, let's say a turret going down and a lane rotation is definitely a great example of that eventually. 3 minutes 39 of bot lane jungle proximity from the Amumu. He knew exactly where he wanted to go.
He's, he's been down there. You guys can see all the blue in the bottom side. And, well, that's been the game for Yondu. Curious to see where he goes from here after dying.
It's harder and harder when the deep vision comes down. We knew he was going to go damage this game, and he certainly is doing that.
Okay, well, nice black shield there from Max. Is not going to get stunned up.
I'm just walking in, has ultimate available.
He's really fast. There he is. Has the wombo combo, but he just dies in front of 4 members. And now Pilot here is going to take the damage. Ruler totally secure in the back line. Shockwave, again, doesn't do all that much. The flash forward from Fly. And how about another 2 kills and the Rift Herald to Gen.G?
Reminds me of the last time Yondu played this champion last year. We just got exploded in the front line many, many times. They had a wombo combo that day, they have a wombo combo today, but Ian was out of position, so by the time Amumu felt like he could ult, it was the wrong time. They get taken down, Rift Herald picked up, and this game is going real quick for Gen.G after a good start for the Amumu comp and MVP.
Yeah. Feels good, man, for Gen.G, that's for sure. They're shutting down the Amumu, making it look bad, and well, to be honest, I think the tank Amumu would have been a little bit better. They have a lot of damage on their side, and wombo combo. You get a couple of barrels, cannon barrage. The Varus survives because you have an actual front line and not just a piece of paper in the Amumu. But, hey, he does damage with this ult.
You know what else does damage?
Anar and ADD. Looks like he might go down as forced to flash. A big sigh from the audience as they wanted that solo kill.
And we know the GPs have been doing very well in this lane, but notice he went pickaxe rather than working towards a Jerome's fist. He also overstayed in lane, and Cuvée says, I'll take a free kill if I can get one. We're going to watch the replay. Black Shield is down. Important cooldown for Yondu to walk up on. They're waiting for the Orianna to get in range. Where's Orianna? Not in range. Doesn't want to use his ult. Thinks that the Orianna is probably closer than he truly is. Ends up just dying in the front line. MVP, they're just being too projected. The flanking Predator play from the Amumu has value. The surprise ganks in the laning phase, those have value. But situations like that where you just run in and try to be Malphite don't work as well when you are going for the AP Amumu build. MVP now find themselves about 3,000 gold behind.
396 damage, the least amount of damage, and that is one sad mummy right now for the side of MVP. Definitely looking like a 0-2 for MVP. They wanted to avoid promotions, but it kind of feels like that's where they've been living for quite a bit. And now Zoe on the roam, looking to come down here and punish ADD. ADD with no flash, looking to get on top of Cuvée. And, well, there's the battle star, and Zoe shows up and says, hello. See, Omega Lol E is here on the Rift.
I like the way ADD played it. He went up, tried to get the counter kill. Real chance Cuvée hadn't had the kill. He get it. That was very rude.
Oh, he gets to the back line here. Really nice stopwatch by Ruler. Can they turn it around? Yondu chasing him down. Ambition getting low too. But oh boy, Ruler up against Yondu, just standing him up. Fly trying to go 1v3 in the back line too. Nearly able to do it if Ruler just chasing down the rest of the members. Is able to take down 2. Max is going to stopwatch, but he's going to be dead as well as Fly takes him out. And the Rift Herald is pushing. Maybe they'll go for the end.
They're going to break the base, that's for sure. I don't know if we're going to get a dancing Rift Herald in an Amumu game, but definitely didn't expect that when I woke up this morning. We're not going to see it, but we will see an inhibitor be cracked at 22 minutes into the game. Takeaway for a lot of people who didn't watch the game is, oh, Amumu a troll pick, but the Amumu did really well in the early game. This is definitely the sort of game where it's not been about the Amumu for the reasons things went poor. It's been decision-making by MVP. Specifically bot lane. Watching this engage, couldn't actually interrupt the Rift Herald. Would have potentially been worth it to try and engage and also interrupt the Rift Herald. But after that, Fly comes from the flank. They're too far behind in gold, and everyone on the side of MVP has to pay the price for some decision-making mistakes from MVP.
I love Zoe too, just level 14, charging through the back line, saying, well, you're not going to be able to run away from me. I'm Zoe. Takes them all out. Also, it was funny to see Yondu after he ulted Ruler. Ruler just stopwatched, and then he turned around because Amumu was not able to lock down the Ashe afterwards and just took way too much damage because he's not a tank.
Well, he has double magic pen, so at least this Amumu is ready to penetrate the magic resist there and do a lot of damage. Sick wombo burst.
He's got something, I guess. They just need to sit back and wait for the Curse of the Sad Mummy, Curse of the Sad Shockwave, basically, is what you would need to try to win a team fight. But even then, I don't think Ambition dies to anything.
Probably not. The stopwatch is down from Ruler. He'll take a lot of damage in that wombo combo. The cleanse going to be on cooldown for a while, so maybe they try to fight for something like a Baron. The inhibitor's down so early, it's going to take 2 members to farm those super minions, probably. When you see the inhibitor down at 22 minutes or 21 minutes, takes a lot longer to actually clear through the minions. Here is Cuvée on the side lane. Has a recurve though item advantage over ADD. Just a reality of doing well in this matchup. They set up the Baron. They can certainly take it here with enough time, Gen.G.
You know, they saw the Amumu, they died a little bit early on, but then cleanse, heal from Core JJ, as well as a QSS now. They're gonna get the Baron, and, well, they're gonna win the game. They're gonna laugh in the face of that sad mummy, who is just gonna get even sadder after this game.
Do you reckon Amumu wants to feel happiness? Because he just cries so much.
He wants friends, right?
But does he really want friends, or does he want the idea of friends?
I think you're trying to define depression here, Papa Smithy.
I mean, he is depression.
Exactly.
He's so sad all the time.
Exactly.
There's people out there that wallow in their misery. Maybe Amumu's one of those people.
I think you're right on the money there, Papa. He's a sad mummy, and he doesn't know what to do, so he's just going to accept his life.
Like, if he was in, like, a dating profile, right? What do you think he's looking for? Do you think he knows? Maybe it really is just a quiet room, a nice fire, a nice novel.
He wants friends.
No, he says he wants friends. That's not the same thing, Val.
Are you trying to read into...
What was my previous career? I was a school psychologist.
Yeah.
So, you know,
I mean,
I do think about these things sometimes.
Yeah. He is a young mummy at that. He hasn't aged like some of his Egyptian brothers.
I don't know. I don't know about Amumu. I don't get to wonder about Amumu that much. It's not on my mind. He's not played, you know?
Yeah. What's worse than disliking Amumu is actually just never thinking about him.
He would hate that.
Oh,
I guess I want you to think about me would not have been quite the same punch as I want to find friends.
Yeah. Well, nobody's really thinking about the Amumu anymore, as he's totally useless in this one. Gen.G just going to steamroll them. It's like putting down a fresh coat of tar onto a driveway right now, as MVP are being flattened in their base.
They got 2 Infernals. They still have the Baron. It's also 26 minutes in, and this is too much damn pressure for MVP, but they could try a wombo.
Wow, the Chains of Corruption does absolutely nothing. ADD gonna take a bit of damage, and well, Fly trying to show off. There's Yondu into the backside. Actually does a nice bit of damage with that cannon barrage, but who are we kidding? It's a little bit too late in this one. Low members on the side of Gen.G, but they're just gonna end the misery, as even Max isn't gonna die. The 2-0 for Gen.G, that's exactly what they were looking for.
Gen.G roll in, play ultra standard. Doesn't matter if you play a Amumu against them or a draft that Griffin would have tried, like game number 1. They will just try to play slow and steady. Core JJ did outthink MVP with his summoners there. I thought the cleanse heal and it being the only lane where there was set up CC made it so clear that Amumu would return a 3rd time, a 4th time. But eventually, his hand was taken out of the cookie jar. Amumu got no more cookies in the bot side, and there just were no more good news stories for MVP after that one. They are still within a race of getting away from relegations. You know, the game score is important for them, so going down 2-0 doesn't set them up for some much success. They will play Katie Rolster in a match that may decide first place on the last match of the season, Thursday night. We'll see what MVP we see that day, if we'll see the Amumu again that day. My first thought is no.
Well, I mean, Amumu and Yondu, they're just looking for some new friends, but maybe they're going to have to find them in promotions. Got a couple of new teams down there, maybe Dom1 Gaming and perhaps Battle Comics, maybe Winners. Maybe he can find some new friends there, because nobody likes him here in the LCK. Talking about Amumu, Yondu, very good jungler, but just not able to put anything together here on the side of MVP, as even the coach unhappy with that performance. And Fly just low-key pummeling the mid lane as well. Takes the first blood turret after the failed roam from the Orianna, and then, well, turns into Z Omega Lol E.
It was the best of times, it was the worst of times. Was the Amumu in the bot lane. 2 successful ganks, and Core JJ said, well, you're gonna keep ganking me. I'm gonna use this unsealed spellbook and not have flash. And while he was very honest Braum in terms of having no flash, it was very easy to turn around on some of this MVP over-aggression on the bot side. From this way onwards, it was Gen.G smooth sailing, and MVP did trip over on the execution a couple of times as well.
Certainly was the case. This was the saddest fight. Vantage tosses himself into death. Turns out a non-tank AP Amumu gets clobbered by Zoe, specifically, and Ashe, who can just stand and deliver up against them. Well, even ADD goes down one time on the bottom side. This almost looked like a good fight, but even then, not able to do much.
I think MVP just got the agreement to try the Amumu comp. I think the validity against Ambition was very smart. I think the execution of the first two ganks was fine as well. But just like we saw the Quinn trip up for SKT and some of the other really off-the-board picks, if you make a mistake around it, is it the mistake of the pick or is it the mistake of the execution? In this particular game, I would say execution. I think the execution was off from MVP. I think there's a way to make exactly this build, exactly this playstyle work, but you have to show more restraint. The gank that turned the game, they got double cleanse before they committed to Amumu actually initiating. Could have just escaped with a double cleanse, they didn't. And then Gen.G, 26 minutes, 51 into the piece, closed the game.
Nearly 15,000 gold in that one, as nearly Gangplank able to get the highest damage. But in the end, it is Zoe, of course, who is able to pick that one up. Double Infernal just being taken along the way, and 26 minutes is all it's going to take. A very quick series here to begin the night. Our next series is going to be KT versus Hanwha Life, so I recommend you guys go after the interview, do something for about an hour, and come back for that one. Should be pretty good.
You're going to have plenty of time. Next series will go live 1 hour, 16 minutes from now. We will have the wrap-up and, of course, the interview with our MVPs, or potentially a double MVP coming soon. We can spy with our little eyes that Kim Soo-hyun and CoreJJ are next to MC rating to find out if we will have another MVP to join them for this interview. We have no idea. See who this MVP is? It's Fly.
It's Zoe. Fly on the Zoe, very clean. Gets his 7th at the same time. Says, if he grabs Zoe, then he flies Fly. So there you have it, guys. I'm going to hand it over to G-Sun. Enough with that. Let's hear from the players and what they have to say.
Thank you very much. This is Season with their interview translations, and today we're gonna have an interview with CoreJJ and Fly from Gen.G Esports. So it was a 2-0 victory from Gen.G Esports, and let's have an interview with CoreJJ and Fly. Congratulations. Thank you. This was the final match of the regular split. How do you guys feel? Well, we have to pray for better results, you know. We might be able to reach out to the finals. Well, but it was our fault for not performing well during the regular split, but it's really good to pick up 2-0 victory today. And I hope all the other teams still go forward to the end of the split. It was a clean game, so it feels really nice. But we still have to root for all different teams, and especially our fans from Gen.G also have to root for the other teams, so I hope we can all cheer for them. You know, this summer split was so hard, you know, all the competition between the top teams were so intense. Today's match, it was so clean. So you guys feel really happy. Yeah, I think we're all feeling well. But, you know, our life schedule doesn't really depend on our performance, you know. We have to be a little bit lucky, so I hope we can just maintain this good mood and also our performance. So moving on to games. The first set, there was a small mistake on top lane from Cube. He wanted to stop Skarner from going home, but he kind of died there, right? I guess he lacked vision there. Well, I did watch that happen. We all thought that that was Skarner alone, but yeah, there was Orianna, but it wasn't a big loss.
그러면 그게 큰 손해가 아니라면 별로 이렇게 신경을 안 쓰고 계속해서 경기를 풀어 나가신 게 있나 봐요. 두 분.
So that wasn't a big loss for Gen.G, right?
그쪽에 너무 시간을 오래
I think Orianna kind of spent too much time there, so it was actually loss for MVP. It was easier for me to take down the turret.
좀 사용을 하신 것 같습니다.
그 장면에서 좀 미드 타워가 많이 체력에 깎여 있어서 그
So I
이후에
guess you guys
운영적인 부분에서
took that as an opportunity.
고정준 선수는 사실 그 3분 때
for
초반에
JJ.
있잖아요. 그때 사실
There was a gank attempt on bot lane also in the very early stage of game. What happened over there?
라인이 너무 저희가 안정적인 라인이라고 생각을 하고
Well, we thought that we were really safe with the minion wave.
와가지고 그냥
But well, they tried ganking, but it was easier for us to survive over there.
이거 한 명은 가겠다 이런 생각을 좀 했었거든요.
Well, actually, Tamkins almost died there, but you guys managed to survive.
네, 여유롭게 있었던 것 같아요.
You know, it was Tamkins, so it was easy for me to survive. You know, it's tanky.
팬분들께서 또 계속해서
And
응원을 많이
the slogan
해주셨어요.
says the national player for support role.
재미철 해설 한번 해볼까요?
2세트 때 이제
Moving on to game 2.
플라이 선수의 뭐 멋진 조이 활약도 있었지만
Like you were flying on your Zoe.
애쉬 브라움이 원래는 바루스 모르가나 상대로
And Ashe
좋지가
Brown
않잖아요. 그런데 오히려
Has,
초반에
well,
정면을
usually they have hard
이런
time
모습이
against Varus and
나왔습니다.
Morgana, but you guys were so strong in the laning phase.
자신들의 바텀 라인저 실력에 대해서 평가가
So,
어떤지 좀
how do you guys
궁금하거든요.
rate yourself during the laning phase, your ability in the laning phase?
글쎄요, 저는 일단 누구랑 하든 어떤 매치업을 하든 일단은 내가 이긴다라고 생각을 하고
No matter the matchup is, I have the confidence that I'm gonna win.
네. 그래가지고 잘 풀린 경우가 좀
Well, so if game goes well, if I can pull out well, maybe it becomes a better result because I have better confidence overall.
상대방의 아무무가 바텀 쪽을 좀 강하게 압박을 해주면서 손해를
Well,
많이
and
봤습니다.
Amumu
그래서
ganked in bot lane, but
MVP가 좀 유리해지겠는데
it was a hard time for
Gen.G
Gen.G.
선수가 상대방 오리아나를
However,
계속 압박해주고
Fly, you were putting a lot of pressure against Orianna, and you roamed down the bot lane, so you guys were able to turn the game around.
오리아나 대 조이는 운이다.
And with last interview, you said Orianna versus Zoe is it's always about the luck, especially about the spell from the Zoe's double skill.
이번에는 좀
Well, this time,
오리아나가 좀 실수를 많이
I think Orianna made a lot of mistakes.
제가 느끼기에는.
I personally think so. It was easy for me to play in the laning phase. What about your luck?
잘 나오진 않더라고요.
Well, I didn't pick up many spells I wanted, but I think I was performing well in the laning phase anyway.
네. 두 번째 게임에서 이제 또 가장 좋았던 거, 좀 위험할 수 있었던
another highlight from game 2.
상대방 미드 2차 쪽에서 좀 앞쪽에서 애쉬가 전령을 풀면서 이렇게 위험할 수
Well,
있는 장면이
Ashe
있었는데 그 장면을
had a hard time in the mid lane, but let's go through the clip first.
장면이었죠. 이때 어떤 코리오 갔나요, 거정 선수?
What was going on over there?
쓰자고 하면서 미드에 깔자고 했는데
Well, we said let's use the Herald on mid lane, but you know, I guess Ruler didn't have a lot of skill for releasing the Herald, so he made a mistake.
안 끊기게 하려면 다 앞에서 막고 그냥
So in order to protect our Herald, we have to just protect Ashe in the front line.
사실 좀 불리한 상황이었는데 상대방을 다 제압해주는 좋은 모습이 나왔었거든요.
So you guys almost lost, but I think Fly just outscaled over there. Like he was just making all the super plays.
당연히 해야 될 플레이라고.
I mean, if you are a Zoe player, that's just natural play to do. I was sure, and I was feeling confident.
갖추고 계신 플라이 선수 확실히 젠지 선수들 인터뷰할 때마다 그런 마음을 많이
I guess
느낍니다.
Gen.G players, all the Gen.G players are so confident. I think Fly, you're not a humble type of person, right? No, I'm not.
자신감이 있죠.
I have high confidence, especially on Zoe.
엄청나게 막 집요하게 킬 따로 다니시고 하니까 뭐 겸손함이 무조건 미덕은 아니잖아요. 이런 자신감도 좀 보기가 좋습니다.
Well,
자, 이제
seeing
경기
you very
내용
confident is really entertaining for the interview.
이제부터예요. 그렇지 않습니까? 포스트
And you
시즌에
guys
가게 된데
secured your spot in post-season.
확정팀들 중에서는 가장 먼저 쉬게 됐어요. 굉장히 기쁘실 것
So
같아요.
you have plenty of time left.
팀들의 결과를 기다려야
But
되는 이
some of the
시간이 조금
teams
있습니다.
still can help Gen.G out to reach the finals. So what are your plans for the rest of the time you got?
기도하는 수밖에 없겠죠.
Well, I'm gonna pray.
그래서 정말 열심히 응원해줄 거고.
I'm gonna support for the
네.
teams.
정말 어떤 팀을 응원한다는 게 이렇게 재밌는지.
You know, I never thought that supporting other teams would be so entertaining like this.
맞아,
새 팀의
맞아.
팬입니다.
혹시 특히 이제 요 팀은 진짜
So,
이겼으면
which team do you
좋겠다 하는
support
팀이 있어요?
for the best?
사실 모든 팀이
To be honest, I want all teams to
맞아요.
take down
네.
KT, Kingzone, and
플라이
Griffin.
선수는 어떠세요? 그 시간 동안 뭘 할 계획이신가요?
What's your plan, Fly?
저는 최강 한화를 응원할 거예요.
I'm gonna support the best Hanwha.
와, 다음이에요.
네네네.
계셔야겠는데요, 계속?
You have to stay here and watch the game, right?
할 일이 있어가지고.
Well, I got work to do, so I'm gonna go back.
알겠습니다. 자, 그렇다면 이제 그 몇몇 팀들의 승리가 굉장히 e스포츠에게도 젠지 e스포츠에게도 굉장히 도움이 될 텐데, 그럼 플라이 선수가 그
Fly.
이겨줬으면 하는 팀들에게
Then, do you have any
직접적으로
message
한
for
말씀 좀
Hanwha or
부탁드릴까요?
other teams?
응원의 메시지?
한화에게. 네.
저요? 갑자기요?
Me?
그렇죠 뭐.
한화,
Hanwha,
SK,
SK,
BBQ
BBQ.
맞아요. 정확해.
제발
Please
이겨주셨으면 좋겠습니다.
defeat Kingzone,
잘 부탁드립니다.
KT, and Griffin. Please, thank you.
진심이 듬뿍 묻어있는 이런 한마디였고요.
진짜거든요. 예, 그렇습니다. 자, 이제 마지막으로 그 어느 때보다 힘겨웠던 정규 시즌 끝나고
So you guys are done with the regular splits, and you guys secured your spot in postseason. So is there any last message?
사실 저희가 지금 이제 다른 팀들 결과에 따라서 저희가 어디 위치에서 시작할지
You know, our
모르지만
result is not out yet.
결국 중요한 건 포스트 시즌 도입한
But,
다음의
you know,
경기력이라고 생각을 하고
What matters is that our performance in the postseason.
언제
So
시작하더라도 상관없을 정도로 저희 경기력을
we're gonna just make sure to come back with better performance.
모습 보여드리겠습니다.
And I'm gonna make sure to show my fans better performance and result for in the postseason.
저도 그렇게 생각해요.
I think the same.
말을 너무 잘해서 제가 좀
네.
Poor JJ made a great speech, so I agree with him.
네. 화이팅.
우리 팀 열심히 할 테니까 응원 많이
Gen.G will work our
해주세요.
best, so keep supporting for us. Thank you.
아, 진심이죠, 뭐. 예, 좋습니다. 아, 오늘 정말 정규
So
시즌
this will
마지막
be
경기
the end of the
2대0으로
interview
승리
with
보여준
Core JJ and
젠지
Fly from
e스포츠의
Gen.G
또
Esports,
MVP
and I'm gonna pass it
선수였습니다.
back to our
다시 한번
casters.
축하의
Thank
박수
you.
부탁드리겠습니다.
Thank you, Ji-sun, for the translation. As always, was a quick couple of games here. 31 minutes and then 27 minutes just about. And, well, Fly, humble as ever, says, I'm really good on Zoe, and please defeat all the other teams ahead of me. They're on top for now.
Number one!
But Griffin, Kingzone, and KT still have some games to play.
KT Rolster have 2 matches in hand. They will also be able to reach 13 match wins. They can also get higher in game score, but we're using cans. They haven't happened yet. Second match will be a really exciting one. Hanwha Life versus KT. Hanwha Life and Afrika, even though Hanwha Life beat Afrika, are still battling for this 5th place spot. Depending on the scoreline here, KT Rolster could potentially be once again firming for 1st place, and Hanwha Life in that scenario might actually end up losing out on top 5 compared to Afrika, or the converse. So it's a really must-win, and also must-win 2-0 for both of the teams.
Yeah, and we always say this because we know there are a lot of SKT fans. If you're wishing for one team to make it in order to help SKT through, you do not want Hanwha Life to make it into the playoffs, because if they do win the wildcard match, then they are going to knock SKT out. So you want Afrika to get in to make sure that SKT at least make it into World qualifiers.
Exactly. We'll finally have the answer to that question. Can SKT still make Worlds qualifiers? Answered very shortly.
Yeah.
If Hanwha Life lose and Afrika Freaks can capitalize and finish top 5, Hanwha Life are out of Worlds qualifiers, and SKT are guaranteed to be playing at least one best of 5 in the postseason.
Yeah. So that's pretty much the story, guys. It's right now 6:47, which means that in about an hour and 3 minutes, we're going to be back with KT versus Hanwha Life. So, I mean, that's enough to sneak in a couple of games of solo queue. Maybe you can watch someone else's stream.
Watch a Netflix TV show.
Yeah.
Even one of those ones is not 42 minutes. It's actually closer to 60 minutes. You've got the time.
Definitely got some time here, guys. We're probably just going to sit down and talk about nothing, like we usually do. Maybe we'll eat something. I don't know. We'll update you guys when we come back. But that's going to do it for the first series. We'll join you guys in an hour. See you soon.
I see you always wanna go somewhere to waste your golden soul. I see the smile you never show. Oh no.
It's been many days, many ways misled, knowing that I'm tiptoeing on both sides of the fence, trying to figure it out, but I'm living in doubt. So scared one day that your grace might run out, cause I'm so far from perfect, so close to worthless, feeling no good for worship, trying to understand this life that you purchased. Am I just a man destined for death, or do I deserve it? You died for my sins and that's the verdict. You carried out God's true will and purpose with urgency for the sake of love, forgiveness and eternity. Your grace is enough. I got so many questions, so many things to change. I'm calling out, but sometimes you're far away. I get discouraged and seem to always fall flat, but that's when you pick me up and bring me back.